Stray is a remarkable game with a unique identity. While there are games where you get to play as a non-anthropomorphized animal, very few manage to successfully capture the behaviors and nuance to make it feel authentic. There was Dog's Life on the PS2, which had a very cartoony premise and a comedic tone with the ability to throw turds around, and even Murdered Soul Suspect allowed you to possess a cat at certain times to advance. Come to think of it, that game also had a button exclusive for meowing. Stray takes on a more realistic approach by implementing fun and often silly cat behaviors into gameplay, making this game a unique specimen. Developed by BlueTwelve Studio and published by Annapurna, Stray is a sci-fi platforming game where you play as an adorable cat. I was intrigued based on this premise alone, and I was really excited to finally check it out. Thankfully, it does not disappoint, and it definitely exceeded my expectations. The story opens with a clatter of stray cats as they venture through some old ruins long after the humans left or died off. As they explore, one of the cats loses his footing while trying to make a jump and ends up falling into a ravine. Lost and disoriented, the cat makes his way through the sewers and encounters a gigantic underground city populated by robots. I have to say that the design of this place is really cool. Neon illuminates the streets, and the robots all look distinct and have different personalities. They each have clothes that reflect their character, and some of them have features such as wires that mimic hair and things like that. The city feels alive given the absence of humans, while still making you feel a sense of isolation whenever you have to explore the darker regions on your own. After the cat narrowly escapes a bunch of tick-like monsters called the Zurks, he repairs a small flying drone called B-12, who becomes his companion and guide through the city. B-12 gives the cat a backpack, as one does, and the two have to work together to figure out a way to open the city to the outside world. Along the way, the cat faces several dangers, including Zurk colonies, which we learn evolved from an experimental bacteria that mutated, and an oppressive police force in the upper levels. It is worth noting that the cat can die, although it isn't graphic or anything, but please tell me, why is there a trophy that requires the cat to die 9 times? I do think the game has a fun story, although I feel like the world building is a bit rushed and inconsistent, but only with a few small elements. This is a fascinating place, but there were still many unanswered questions, especially surrounding B-12. Even when we learn about a big reveal surrounding his character, he is taken aback for a few minutes, but then he just moves past it without a whole lot of personal reflection. There are collectibles and memories that you can find to learn more about B-12 and the world, but even then, I was eager to investigate deeper into it. That would probably be my only real issue, but it was not much of a deal breaker. The gameplay is enjoyable, and it was always fun to climb buildings to get a better view of your surroundings. The cat can jump through contextual prompts to reach new areas, but the developers also went the extra mile to incorporate behaviors to make the cat feel like a real cat. You can scratch furniture, get your head stuck in a paper bag, rub against the legs of robots, run in front of them to cause them to trip, and step in paint while leaving behind paw prints. All of these don't affect the gameplay aside from unlocking a few trophies, but I'm glad they are featured. The cat can also pick up some items with his mouth and pull down window shades to open them for shortcuts, so there is a healthy variety when it comes to the gameplay while maintaining its charm so it never becomes too repetitive. There are also various items to collect throughout some districts, such as sheet music for a musician who will play some fun and oddly familiar songs. These side quests will reward you with buttons for your backpack, and they do help make the world feel more alive. If you're a cat lover, then you'll definitely enjoy this game. It has a unique premise with a beautiful world to explore, accompanied by a nice soundtrack to boot. It's a relatively short game, and can be completed in about 5 hours or so, but it was easily worth the price. Give it a try, and experience a new world through the eyes of a cat.